The Four Leaf Clover podcast is sponsored by Planet Celtic.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Friday Focus Show on the Four Leaf Clover podcast. If you look down in that bottom right-hand corner there, it's good to see our Paddy has passed a last-minute fitness test. We've had him out with the physio all day, running around the Four Leaf Clover Stadium, and he is back to normal now. The hammies are looking good. Paddy, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right again, Scotty. Rough couple of days just there, but had to be close to the toilet at all times this last few days. So
yeah, that's plenty. That's plenty.
Anybody who knows what that's like will sympathise with me. So, but feeling a wee bit better tonight, thankfully.
Good man, good man. You look about 4 or 5 stone light. I'm not saying that you were heavy or anything like that, Paddy. I'm just saying you look a wee bit lighter these days. That's all I'm trying to say, pal. Andy, how's your week been, mate?
No bad. I'm just, it's almost nearly Easter time in it, and I'm just thinking he has arisen, and it's our Paddy. He's going out the road, and he's reappeared again. So, good to see him back. We missed you, mate. My week's been all right, mate. Quite a good week, so can't complain.
Good man. And Gerry, how are you doing, sir?
I'm like Andy. Love a Friday. Work's finished. Buzzing. Kid weekend watch Cracker Jack and Monkey Magic today. typical all Friday after school. But Shell, I love no haircut. But big rave tomorrow for me, boys. Going up to Barrowlands tomorrow. No about the Metro days, Scott. We're more sneaking in with cod liver oil capsules and Ralject for my knees. It'll be a bit different from my Metro days, I think.
Good man. Oh, the ladies loving the new haircut there, Gerry. You're on fire, pal. You're looking on fire, pal. Looking good, man. No guys yet. It's in the post, mate. It's in the post. Don't worry about it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have got a full stacked card for you again this evening, as ever. Loads happening as well. Breaking news just before we came on air. So let's have a look at everything as ever with
what's happening.
What's happening indeed. So finally, Willie Collum and his boys at the SFA have got together and got their story straight. And to be fair to Willie Collum, he always does come out and has to explain the deficiencies of his team. And Alan Muir, for me, needs to be sacked. Enough's enough for this guy. And we've got the full explanation here. So let's just have a look at this first before we get torn about Mr. Alan Muir yet again.
Hey, PP.
Good.
Potential offside, potential ball
out of play. It's on-field decision. Okay, check it on-field decision of goal. Slow this down.
Decision, but we will check it. Okay.
What do you think of there, Cloudy?
We'll check it, Marcus.
Can't definitively. Any other angles?
Ball looks at a place.
My job.
We're not going to get to there. That looks at a play there. Would you agree?
No, I don't think it's conclusive, mate. Honestly,
no, I know.
I don't think that can conclusive.
Just wait.
Behind the goal here. We'll just check the ball out of play. I see. That's not conclusive there either.
I don't give it a conclusive angle, mate. Oh.
No, that's a good angle there. Would you agree that's a play there? There. One. There. One more. One. Another one there.
No, they've got different
there.
angles. They've got the
Would you see that's more conclusive? What a play. Factual overturn, you agree? Yep. Happy with that. Stephen, it's Alan. I'm going to give you a factual review here of overturn. The ball is out of play, and I want you to award a goal kick to Hibernian as the ball just crossed the goal line.
Okay, really quite often ask you, is that the right decision or the wrong decision? Is this one more about when VAR should or shouldn't intervene?
Yeah, let's think about the starting point in this clip, Gordon. The starting point is, what is the on-field decision? The on-field decision is the assistant referee keeps the flag down and a goal is scored. So as far as the assistant referee is concerned, the ball has not gone out of play. The VAR and the AVAR, of course, go into a check, which they're expected to do so. They need to assess with the cameras and the footage available if the ball's out of play. You hear the VAR at one point saying, you know, it looks like the ball's out of play from a particular angle, and the AVAR correctly says, I don't think you can be concussive there. Then an angle appears from the main camera, which is zoomed in, and you hear a reaction. You see that the VAR and the AVAR, you see and hear that they both think at that point that's evidence to say the ball is out of play. However, what I want to be very clear about in this clip, and we coach the VARs and the AVARs to be certain about this, you need 100% conclusive evidence to disallow the goal here and prove that the ball is over the goal line. And in this case, that's not possible. It's not possible to prove categorically that the ball has crossed the goal line fully, because we know from previous examples at World Cups, a ball can look out, you know, from certain angles, but then when you look at the camera above, because in World Cup competitions there's a spider cam, there's a clear camera on the goal line, a slight part, a millimetre of the ball can be overhanging that goal line, and that's enough to say the ball's in play. So in this occasion, for us, we expect the on-field decision to be supported and a goal awarded. I would also say, if the assistant referee had flagged here and said in his opinion the ball had crossed the line and it was a goal kick, we would also expect that decision to be supported, because there's no 100% conclusive evidence.
So it's not that you think that ball is definitely in, but this is all about what you can and can't prove. So basically going with the on-field decision, whatever that decision would be.
Yeah, because it's impossible to prove otherwise.
Well, Andy, Willie Collum has explained Alan Muir yet again. He's had to come out and defend or undefend, as we see this time again, his officials. Pretty shocking, inclusive. You know, he's made the decision. There's no way that you can conclusively see that ball is out. But he's overruled the referee anyway. This is 2 or 3 weeks on for when it actually happened. 2 weeks, I think it is now, isn't it? 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's cost Celtic a point or 3 points. It's gave Hibs 3 points. It's affected the rivals' European places all round about Hibs as well. Just a disgrace, really, mate, that, you know, 2 weeks later, this audio and this video footage has finally came out. How's it took so long for it to come out? Just, mate, there's loads of points we could get into here. What's your overall thoughts on the whole situation, Andy?
It's when you hear that audio and you hear Alan Muir saying factual decision, a factual decision, that is a lie. Because there is no way they can make a factual decision. They can never make a factual decision in that scenario because they haven't got the equipment to prove it. So it's basically down to somebody's opinion. You can hear him saying to the other guy on VAR, that looks out, doesn't it? And he's saying, no, it's not clear. It's not clear. He's not happy getting along with it. And I think eventually, whoever else is in the VAR office, sounds as if they're just agreeing with him just to get him to shut up and get on with it, because he's absolutely determined to make sure that decision is overturned and Celtic's goal is chopped off. There's no doubt about it. This is a biased decision that's getting made here. It's no, there's nothing factual about it. And the way I see it, if VAR can't be, and I've said it in other pods very recently, the post-match right after this particular game, if they haven't got the right equipment to use VAR properly to stop all the kind of cloudiness of these decisions, don't use VAR at all, because it's no fit for purpose. Alan Muir should never be able to referee or take part in a VAR room ever again. He should be losing his job, in my opinion.
Aye, no, mate, you're absolutely bang on. Now, I don't really want to go on about what happened in Europe last night, but I did watch the highlights of the game last night of the other Scottish team, and I noticed that one of the goals that was scored, they weren't sure if it went over the line, but the referee knew instantly that it was over the line because something went off in his watch. And if you've seen it, it was like that Hawkeye thing at the tennis. Yep. It went off in his watch straight away, and he went, goal. Now, you couldn't tell by the naked eye. I didn't think it was in when I seen it. Even on the replay, I didn't think it was in. But the Hawkeye went straight to his watch, and the guy knew straight away, Andy, that it was a goal. And then it done the Hawkeye thing, showed you the ball was over the line. Done. In seconds, mate. Absolute seconds it was done. But in Scottish football, you know, as Paddy said previously on a pod, we're looking for the fucking 18-yard line, mate. Done. You know, you can't get a definitive answer. This guy has made a decision in this VAR room. Oh, aye, it's definitely her, it's definitely her. How does he know it's definitely her? He doesn't. He's made this decision. He's overturned it. It's cost Celtic 3 points, 2 points, whatever way you want to look at it, a point. You know, it's just disgusting that in this day and age, without the actual right technology, that these decisions are still getting made. It's disgusting, man. So, Gerry, you've just seen the footage, mate. What's your thoughts on it?
Same as Andy. The guy was advised about 5 times that it was not conclusive. Was still shouting. And there's no demand on the way he was shouting. Did you see how excited he was about it? Do you know what I mean? The man of the excitement. He's there to do a job, and he's overruled. He's trying to overrule the referee. I mean, to me, you're not allowed to overrule the referee in that situation. Is what I call him as well. Yeah. So, and this is the first one. You mean he's the only guy in Hampden Stadium that never seen the on-ball Inverness Cali, 2015. Remember? He's the only guy in that full stadium that never seen that. Then there's an incident at the start of the season. The Kyogo, the penalty, and the VAR gave the penalty, and he never. So, listen, that there's just, I mean, I'm surprised he's exciting how excited he is here. He kept going on and on. 5 times he was told, they're roughly conclusive, can he? But no, he kept going on, Scott. I mean, you guys say cheating, basically, isn't it?
Aye, it's a word that we don't like to use, and you know, you see people getting kicked off radio shows, off TV shows, off everything, Paddy, you know, but it's there to see.
And I'm glad that we've been vindicated here on the pod, Scotty, because if anybody wants to go back and look at the first 5 or 6 minutes of our post-match against Hibs that day, exactly, Willie Collum saying exactly what I said on the podcast that day. It's not so much the actual decision. They didn't follow their own processes. They simply failed to follow their own processes. You can see quite clearly that the on-field decision, and that's what I said on the day of the game, the on-field decision is the key in the whole thing. What is the referee's decision? The referee's decision is goal. And why is it a goal? Because the linesman who's his right-hand man in that situation hasn't put his flag up. So the 2 officials on-field involved in the incident, either didn't see it, couldn't make a decision, whatever. So with no linesman's flag, Stephen McLean has no alternative but to award the goal. So the on-field decision was goal. So the only way that VAR should be getting involved, and Willie Collum stated that in his interview there, the only way that VAR become involved in that situation is if they have clear and obvious proof of an error. And they didn't. And we still don't. And we never will. You're not going to get that now. You're never going to get that. That angle, all those angles there. And funny, the guy who, the AVAR, as they talk about, the assistant VAR, so the guy who's in the room with Alan Muir, he needs taken to task as well, because he just bottled it. Initially, he was like, no, can't make a decision. It's inconclusive. You can quite clearly see, you can't see whether it's in or out. He was sticking to his guns, but Muir kept at him until he basically caved in. So he needs taken to task as well. What is the point in these guys being there if they're not going to make a decision and stick to it? It was just absolutely scandalous. This one will go down as one of the worst episodes ever seen in VAR in Scotland. And listen, it goes way beyond the goal line technology and all that. None of that would have made any difference. Goal line technology doesn't affect the byline. Only affects underneath the posts. That's as far as goal line technology works. The only advantage that England and all of these other countries have, they have a higher camera above the goal line, where we don't. Our nearest camera is on the 18-yard line. And as Andy said earlier, when you see the angles there, and everybody has seen it, and listen, we can all stop a photograph and make it look what we want it to look like. But these are the guys who are getting paid professionally to make these decisions. And that decision there, I don't know whether the ball was in or out. So therefore, the on-field decision should have stood. Simple as that. If you can't see it and I can't see it and millions of people on TV can't see it, one person can all of a sudden just basically say, I think there's a fair chance it's out there. I just need somebody to agree with me here. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what happened. It's cheating in broad daylight, cheating in plain sight, whatever you like, but that's what it is. There's no question about that. And as I've said before, we all have jobs, we all have work to do. Listen, if I did something like that in my job, I would expect there to be consequences of that. You know, there has to be consequences come from this. This guy's not fit for purpose. It's as simple as that. It's not his first time. It's certainly not his first time involving Celtic. And I think questions need to be asked.
We keep saying it. You know, it isn't the first time. It's not the second time. It's not the third time. You know, it's continuously happening with this one individual. It's in plain sight now. You know, as somebody mentioned, Gerry was getting very overexcited about giving that decision against Celtic. You could tell in the guy's voice. You know, something has to be done. But what does get done now? This is the main thing.
Yeah.
This is costing teams round about Hibs hundreds of thousands, millions of pounds when it comes to European places, things like that. It's not going to affect Celtic in the long run because the league's won. But it's still not the point. You know, they still need to be taken to task. They still need to be hauled over the coals. It's just disgusting, man. And you know, this has been Scottish football for years and years and years. And now the technology is catching them out and something needs to be done. There's no hiding place now for these guys. It's in plain sight and it needs to be dealt with. Very
question for Shug at Boys and Tour saying, what's the
consequence?
I need to get my glasses. Basically a one-match ban. That's what you're getting. A one-match ban. So that's all you ever hear.
Yeah, he was taken off the games for the weekend.
So he gets a day off. Which is
just not that. I know, Scott. He was handpicked to run that Muir. Basically, I think he's a top for that for in there. He's fucking.
And there you go. From the truth there, his own colleagues told him there was no evidence, but he couldn't wait to overturn the decision. Disgraceful. Still win the treble. It doesn't affect Celtic. I'm no, you know, as much as we want to, you know, we're a Celtic podcast and we want the decisions to go for Celtic and all the rest of it. My thinking here is, you know, the teams are in Hibs that this is affecting as well. You know, they get 3 points that day, and you know it could affect everything at the end of the season. You know, what if Hibs finish third, for example, and they finish third by a point?
Yep.
You know, it affects the teams that are in fourth and fifth position. You know, by millions of pounds, they're going to get a European place.
Yeah.
And it's corruption, it's cheating, it's everything. You know, let's just call it out for what it is, and that's exactly what it is. So,
yep.
What can we do? Aye.
We can talk to
nothing's ever going to get done, I don't think. And hopefully Willie Collum's the guy who's got the balls to, you know, come out and do what he keeps doing, but it needs to be taken further and let's see what happens. Yep. So the big boys above the SFA UEFA have had their latest finance report. It's out, ladies and gentlemen, and Scottish football is looking in a very, very good place. So the Rangers and Celtic feature positive showings in UEFA's latest finance report. The new UEFA report reveals the Rangers in top 20 clubs in Europe for gate revenue in 2024. Celtic among the top 10 European clubs in terms of pre-tax profits recorded, and sit in the top 20 for kit and merchandising revenue. Scotland sees domestic TV revenue gates increase. So the Rangers and Celtic have shown growth among the top clubs in Europe in a new financial report issued by UEFA, which also reveals that Scotland has seen positive movement in a number of areas. UEFA's European Club Finance and Investment Landscape report, published on Thursday, is labelled as the ultimate guide to European football finances, and a foreword to the report from UEFA President Alexander Seferin. And it's revealed some positive results for both sides of Glasgow, with Celtic revealed to be among the top 20 clubs in Europe for kit and merchandising sales, and in the top 10 for pre-tax profits, listed amongst the continent's clubs. So Celtic have also enjoyed some growth in areas including TV revenue, gate receipts and total revenue. Celtic are among the top 10 clubs in Europe in terms of largest pre-tax profits recorded in 2024. The Parkhead Club recorded a pre-tax profit of €21 million, £17.6 million for 2024, which does represent a drop from the 2023 figure of €47 million, £39.3 million. But Celtic still find themselves 7th in the list alongside last year's Europa League winners Atalanta. Celtic's strong player trading model is undoubtedly a factor in their healthy financial figures for 2024, with back-to-back Champions League campaigns and sales of players such as Matt O'Reilly, whose summer move to Brighton set a new record transfer fee received by a Scottish club, which previously stood at £25 million, following Jota's move from Celtic to Al Ittihad in 2023. So Andy, it's something myself and yourself have been talking up quite a bit recently, is the state of our game. Good to see this, isn't it, mate, that Celtic are punching well above their weight in the top 20 of Europe's big boys. It's just nice to see, mate.
Especially, I think we get basically bugger all for winning the league, and the TV deal has been missold for years. And you've got guys like Doncaster and all that are, it's their responsibility to sell your games. It's actually the clubs that are doing the selling, no the SFA in any way. So when it comes to actually cutting a deal with the TV firms, it should be done to the clubs. And I personally, I'd be all for doing the individual route at the club. You know, just taking control of their own broadcasting rights, because we've not been getting the proper people in place to do proper deals to help out the clubs. You look at Celtic, you've got the pre-tax profits. I think that's actually the last 6 months. So they'll get even better than that, and they're actually number 7. So top 10, but number 7, which is unbelievable when you think about it, pre-tax profits. And I've done that, as you say, with a player trading model. Very, very good business. We've spoken about it in the past, selling players, but also selling clauses, things like that. Made very good profits on players. Also, you've got the big deal with Adidas as well. You know, it doesn't hurt when you're pumping out 4 jerseys a season. You know, you're going to get revenue for that because you've got a loyal fan base that's going to go and spend. I don't know about this £90 tap right enough. I think I'm more likely to hold off for a few months and get it a bit cheaper. I wouldn't be spending £90 on that, as nice as I think it is. It's very basic for 90 quid. But there is people out there that pay it. Paddy says he doesn't think he's going to be doing it, but I think he will.
I think you will as well. We're going to get on to the merchandising.
I think very quickly, and you can understand that's why people are frustrated when we don't get certain players and we go, well, we're in a really good financial position. There's no excuses not to do it. So, but all good to see. I suppose if you're a business-minded person, then it's good to see. But we're football fans, and it's all about the success on the park.
Aye, bang on. And Gerry, like I said to Andy, it's just nice, you know, that Celtic, you know, continuously punch above our weights. Like you said, you know, we're getting, you know, close to £4 million for winning our league, and we're coming up 7th, you know, for pre-tax profits in the whole of Europe. It just shows you how well the club is run.
Aye, the club's, I think his argument that side of it, the club's well run. I think a lot of teams in England with jealousy how Celtic's run. So it is with the money we pull in. But that's it's all down to the punters, Scott. Every single one of them. They're not buying strips, they're going to the games, they're everywhere. We'll keep top of this waiting list as well, aren't they? I know for more seats, get a bigger stadium, but I don't know. I was thinking the question would be, would you make the stadium bigger and give the rights to some company to pay for it? Would fans do that? So it pays for it. I know
Gerry, when it comes to stadium naming rights, there's no money in it, mate. Honestly, it's no. The only way. see, the only way that works is like Emirates like sponsor the Arsenal stadium, and it's basically another way to money launder, you know. So like independent naming, you get very little for that. There is right round the financial fair play and all that. If let's say if the Sad Bears manage to get fucking investment for the 69ers, then you know what I mean? That they could name it the whatever stadium and
I was still trying to get
that way, pump money in that way, because they're making it legitimately. We you know, it's not just getting thrown at them; they're earning it because they're selling something to get money. That's I think
the money we're earning after the league and the telly rights is just it's dreadful. We keep thinking we're getting good deals with the telly rights. We must be one of the lowest in Europe.
Yep.
We should be
cheated. In fact,
that's the biggest.
See when Amazon done that European game, their coverage was absolutely superb. If I was one of the ones in charge at Celtic when it comes to broadcasting, I'd be trying to push them to try and come into Scottish football. And BT actually done a good job before they went to TNT when they had coverage. They actually done a half decent job. Sky just don't care. They've got idiots like pride on it, and they can't even get to spare any teams right when they're advertising games. Not they're short. They really
get me back Santanta back offers the world. Never. But listen, Celtic will be jealous a lot. The way they run the club is just it's tremendous, really. So it is. The way they run the place is just brilliant, Scott. As I say, the money we get with telly rights and to be in that position you say in Europe it's unbelievable. So it is.
Aye, bang on. And Paddy, like I said, just, you know, we'll go into the merchandising and the shirt sales and all the rest of it, but just to see that there, you know, number 7 in the whole of Europe for pre-tax profits, just it's great to see, mate.
Amazing figures, Scotty, given, as we've just touched on, that, you know, the money that we get for winning and dominating in Scotland. You know, and again, it shows you how important qualification for the Champions League year on is important to us, because that's really the Adidas deal and the Champions League money. It's the only two places really we can make sort of half decent money, you know. So it's just great to see the figures, given that we're up there against some of the bigger clubs in the world with a lot more revenue streams than we have. These guys have access to various channels that we don't have. The Amazon Prime's an interesting one. That's the one I would like to see them. I could see this maybe in the future or something. You know, there's no reason why clubs couldn't have their own. They couldn't have their own dedicated service and let the fans pay for it. Mm-hmm. You know, just pay for your own service. And the thing is, you need to do it with somebody like Amazon Prime, because the Celtic TV, the offering that Celtic TV provide at the minute is absolutely shocking. You know, for those games that people pay per view for, it's just absolutely ridiculous. The standard of service and the quality of the picture. You know, we've all got Fire Sticks as well, and the lesser teams in Scotland, the Hibs TV, the Ross County TV works better than the Celtic TV whenever these games are being shown on TV, and that's a disgrace. You know what I mean? So, but listen, it's encouraging for Scotland, and it's encouraging for Celtic first and foremost that we're up there along with the best of them. And it just shows you the power that the Celtic fans command all across the world, and it just shows you the power that we could become if we were suddenly catapulted into a bigger league, like something like the Premiership. If we were something that got there, the sky's the limit for us. But the figures are very, very encouraging and great to see.
It certainly is, and well, Gillian no holding back there.
Some folks players think Celtic TVs are better than folk are actually paying for the Celtic TV. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
A joke.
I wouldn't know anything about that. I wouldn't know anything about that, Gerry. I wouldn't know a thing about that, my man. No, it's bang on what you're saying, and I think the next TV deal that Scottish football gets will be a belter, because you know they've been shocking for years. They've been absolutely shocking, and I think now that we see all these streaming sites like Amazon and all the rest of it, you're going to see a better deal for Scottish football, 100%. The next time we get one.
TV, Scotty, is Jerry McCulloch been sacked? Because I've not seen him or heard him. Is he still on Celtic TV? Or I've not really seen him.
don't think he's been sacked, mate. I think it would come out. But just touching on Celtic TV, across here in Spain, we've got Barcelona TV and Real Madrid TV on the actual mainstream telly here. And it was a treat, and they've got, it's something that Celtic TV should certainly look at. They've got the classic games on there. It's an actual channel.
Yeah.
If Celtic TV should lead the way when it comes to things like that, and we should have Celtic TV should be, I'm not saying 24/7, but from morning to night at least, or even have something through the night, for folk that are up through the night and put classic games on it or whatever. There's certainly a better way, especially in this day and age, to go about things. 100%, there should be a better way to do it.
You say, Scott, the young fans want to know everything about the players. They want to know everything about them. What they're doing in their spare time. They want to know everything about them. As you say, Celtic TV should be 24/7. So it should.
Aye. No, bang on. Absolutely bang on. And there you go, Chris. $189 for Celtic TV in the States, Aye. It could be better. We've got friends of the show on Celtic TV, so we don't want to get into it too much. But all we're saying is, it could be better for sure. So moving on, ladies and gentlemen. So Celtic are in the top 20 in Europe for kit sales. So Celtic also sit in the top 20 across Europe for kit and merchandising revenue, with the club recording revenue of €35 million, £29.3 million in this department for 2024. Again, Celtic saw a strong growth over a 5-year period from 2019, with a €14 million, £11.7 million jump in kit and merchandising revenues since then. Continued domestic success and the start of a 5-year kit deal with Adidas in 2020 will have undoubtedly helped to boost those figures. Real Madrid are way out in front of everyone on the list, with their 2024 kit and merchandising revenue sitting at an astounding, by the way, €196 million, £164 million, with Celtic sitting 17th in the top 20, just behind both Milan clubs, with that figure of €35 million, £29.3 million, accounting for 24% of the club's total revenue for the year. So, Andy, a quarter of the whole club's revenue is on kit and merchandising. It's incredible, as Gerry said, what the fans put into Celtic. It just shows you a quarter of the money that comes in is through kit and merchandising. Unbelievable.
I think the Adidas partnership has worked out well this time, just purely because of Adidas. Personally, I'm a big fan of Adidas. I wear a lot of Adidas stuff anyway. I did so before they started making Celtic's kit. And for me, it'd been a long time coming. I think they've messed up a few times with kits. That one we got with a white badge, and it was an absolutely beautiful kit. Why they didn't wear that is beyond me, because it would have sold a lot more. If they did, it was an absolute classic. I love that look. I love that kind of Lisbon look, that plain look. I think it's really nice. And I've seen some concepts of Adidas kits out there that people have made up, and you're like, I hope it's like that. And then it turns out like that one at the back in it. No, I didn't get that kit. I didn't like it, and I would certainly want to buy it if I didn't like it, and I didn't, because I usually always try and get whenever they put a kit out, even though there's like 4 every season, and then you've got the Paddy's Day one every year as well, aren't you? They're firing that in there as well. But they know the Celtic fans are going to put that out. But also, you need to look at the finances. An awful lot of the money's coming for the Champions League, the majority of it. And it's important that us as a club make sure we're still in there to get that, So don't take your foot off the gas when it comes to domestic football, because it's important that we get through the qualifiers and continue to get into the Champions League purely for a financial, not just for the prestige of the club, but financially we need it. We need it to keep it up there, to bring in order to progress in Europe. We need to continue to get into Europe. It's one of the vicious circle things. So, but overall, the kit deal is very good. I think they need to look at the pricing though. Some of it's just absolutely extortionate. And that's for one kit. Can you imagine buying for 4 kids or something like that? And then you've got your season book to pay and everything else that comes with life. It's no cheap. It's very expensive. A lot of pressure on people as well. So they could help it. We maybe try to lower it a wee bit. Maybe I think would help. They might end up selling a lot more if they actually made it a bit cheaper.
Aye, I think, Gerry, you know, that new tap for me is a scandalous price at £90. As Andy said, imagine you've got 2, 3, 4 kids, whatever, and they're all wanting one. It's, you know, the average working lady and gentleman, you know, it's ridiculous, mate. But you know, when you see figures like that, you know, it's making up a quarter of Celtic's, you know, money coming in for the year. Then you know, you can see why the club do it. But I agree with Andy. I think that, you know, they should bring these prices down, and maybe you would actually sell more of them. But no, just again, good to see that Celtic are, you know, flying high in the merchandising side of things as well, mate. And that, you know, again, we're in Europe's top 20, up there with the Milan clubs, mate. It's just great to see.
Aye. I was just actually going to say, I was thinking that before Andy just came in at the end there and said that about, as you say, the pressure of the families having it free kits. You know, Celtic's going to keep driving on and earning as much money as they possibly can. But as Andy says, Scott, sometimes it does make sense if you sell it cheaper and more folk get it and stuff like that. Andy was absolutely spot on there with that for me. So just sitting thinking about that, because let's be honest, it doesn't matter if you're on 15 grand a year, 20, 50, 100 grand. All the kids get a hook, a cook. Mums and dads work hard and get them all their football stuff and everything. Just saying, tap of season books and everything. So, listen, the dedicated supporters, well, no doubt about it. So, the dedicated supporters who keep buying this, keep the merchandise going there. Celtic's open up another shop in the Tuna No, Andy. So, you know, further up the Tuna No, so that just shows you merchandise is going through. But you know they've got to do it, but can we try and do it at a certain... It's phenomenal. The money earning off it is unbelievable, Scott. But if they want to try and keep going with the big boys, you need to keep pulling the money in, don't you? I mean, the Champions League money's the main thing, but we're not guaranteed that. You start getting the playoff games again, they start becoming a gamble, and that's what it's a bit worrying. That is a guarantee. You know, Celtic will not sign somebody to be getting the next playoff game and next. So all the merchandise monies has to get done, but it's only 90 quid just for a tapping. You used to get your footer bits, your shin pads, your socks, your shorts for all that, and still change. So this shows you just that for a tap now, you know. You don't used to get the full bunner, didn't you, for that 90 quid. But you know it's got to be done, but there's got to be trying get in a better price in there for the families and stuff.
Aye, definitely, mate. And Paddy, you can see why teams are bringing out 3, 4, 5 strips a season when you see the figures that Real Madrid are bringing in, you know, like close to 200 million a season just in merchandising sales. You know, it's unbelievable when you see the figures, mate, innit?
Crazy figures. But then Real Madrid also have the benefit, Scotty, of, you know, they're probably the best players in the world there. You know, they stick Mbappe's name on the back of a shirt and they make 100 million, you know, just on that one shirt, or they stick, you know, Vinicius Jr. or whatever, you know, so they're in a different market to us completely. But we're certainly paying our way, and we're certainly doing very, very well. But again, as I say, it's testament to the supporters and the backing that we give the club week in, week out. You know, that's a quarter of the club's income on merchandising, and then how much comes from season tickets. So when you add the season ticket money and the merchandising, you know, it shows you that the clubs, the supporters are the lifeblood of the club. Without the supporters, Celtic would be nowhere. You know, they need our money, and we need to keep financing them. But you know, it is becoming more and more difficult. You know, as Gerry said, you know, that anybody who has children and grandchildren, you know, they want to see the latest strips. They want to see the kits. They want to see the jerseys. They want to see the goalkeeper strips, and you know what I mean. So it's very difficult for people who are trying to maybe keep children happy as well as yourself. You might want to buy them yourself, but even just for the kids, because the kids sort of demand them and want to see them, they want the latest kit. But listen, it's all good, you know, and it's, you know, as long as we keep ticking over the way we're doing, as I say, if we can just keep qualifying for this Champions League group stage, and keep the sponsorship going with big companies like Adidas, we will just to continue to be on the up then.
Yeah, no, bang on, mate. And the report continues. So Scotland sees positive TV revenue growth. So Scotland as a whole has also seen some positive results across 2024. Domestic TV revenue saw a 20% increase on 2022's figures, with a €32 million, £26.8 million total, seeing Scotland placed 16th across Europe. The country's total revenue for clubs of €357 million, £299 million, represents a 14% increase, placing Scotland 11th overall throughout the continent. Kind of shows you how shite the TV deals are other places as well, really. So Scotland was also 7th in terms of gate receipts, with €130 million, £109 million across 2024, ensuring an increase of 4.3% from 2022, with Scottish clubs showing a total net equity of £225.2 million, with only 2 clubs having negative equity. The country did rank number 1 throughout the whole of Europe in Winfield, with 100% of clubs in private ownership. So, Andy, that wraps up the UEFA, finance report. It makes good reading, really, for Scottish football, but for me, must do better. I think the TV side of things is the big one to take out of all that. Quite surprising to see that we're so high up, really, on the list when it comes to TV money, because we know how much a shite deal Scottish football does get. But I think it runs out in 2027. Is that right? I think we've still got another couple of years of that to go. But as Paddy said, and as Gerry said, and as folk have said in the comments, let's hope we can get a better deal the next time that comes around, Andy.
Another thing as well, you need to remember, you're talking about gate receipts there, it could be a lot better as well if they actually gave stop cutting out allocation at away games. Then clubs will be making more money that when we're visiting them, because we could fill their stadium without their home fans there. So they're cutting their nose off to spite their face there when it comes to financials. I look at some of the games and the Celtic fans are stuck in a wee corner and half the stadium's empty, and you're like, this is mental. This is, they're committing financial suicide, these clubs, and then they're moaning about they've got no money for this, that, and the next thing. Well, treat your club as a business, and stop being kind of like a spoiled child out of it. One club does it, and then they all seem to follow. It's just madness for me, so they get their gate receipts and their income could be a lot more, because you take Celtic and Rangers out of the equation, look at the gate receipts then in Scottish football, and it will be very poor, very, very poor. So, I think they need to sort that out. Also, as to the atmosphere, we're just talking about in the last pod how there's got to be so many Hibs fans at Celtic Park on Sunday and how it's going to add to the atmosphere. That's what it does, We've not got a problem with Celtic because we know we can fill these seats with our own fans. But these other clubs are giving us very little, and they can't even fill their own bit. I mean, I spoke about it, the game at Easter Road against Hearts, and the amount of empty seats in an Edinburgh derby, and Hibs are flying at a time, and they can't fill their seats, and it baffles me. It just baffles me.
Aye. Gerry, just having a look at the full finance report there, it makes good viewing for Scottish football in general. It's something I know me and Andy have certainly talked it up the past few weeks. The fixtures have looked fantastic, some of the games and how tight the league is and stuff like that. We just want a better deal for Scottish football in general, and we do want to talk the game up because it is a good product when you look at it. And those sort of figures there are starting to show that, thankfully.
Aye, but it's all looking good. As Andy says, it could be better. And see, going to these stadiums that are empty, as the Hibs games, for example, did talk about that the other night. It's how can that be? How can the clubs are just, and then we're going to these other stadiums and all, it's 500 seats and that now. We're talking about they're wanting to help their communities, but they're not helping their communities, because when we go to the games, we're going to their pubs. We're going to their pubs and selling their shops and So, like going to Perth makes money. So Perth makes money, St Johnstone make money, everybody makes money. It's a snowball effect. But St Johnstone don't want the Celtic fans there, or vice versa, these other clubs. It's a snowball, so it could be better. It could be even better again. As far as the TV, right, we keep thinking it's a good one, and we see it, and we see everybody else's score, and we go, geez, well. And I'm hearing me always shouting about the Scottish games, the Championship games. They're better games to watch than these English Premiership games. They blow the death off you, and they're getting all that money. So they're, let's be honest, it's fucking, I turn it off. See if I've not got a bet on, I turn the English game off. I can't, honestly.
You don't get a bet on?
I know, I like a wee bet. I like a drink, I like a bet. I can't wait to my fag when I leave here, but no. As I says, listen, it could be better all round. We should be helping each other, helping the club should be helping the communities, the pub, get the pubs, get everything, get the fans back into the stadiums, get them full. You know what I mean? I know as well. Get the atmospheres back. You say big TV companies, they don't want to sit and look at Andy, they don't want to sit and look at half stadiums empty.
Right.
TV rights will say to them straight away, well, you're on. So to me, that goes against us. So it does. That will go against us when the TV companies come in. But aye, you say it's looking good, but it could be better, Scott. So
aye. No, you're absolutely bang on, Paddy, and I think the guys make great points there. You know, the TV companies only going to come if they see empty stadiums, and we know why there's empty seats in stadiums. You know, the guys have just touched on it there. But just, what's your thoughts on the overall UEFA finance report, mate? It's making good reading for Scottish football, which is great to see.
It is, Scotty, but it definitely, as you say, it could be so much better. You know, it could be so much better with a bit better, a bit better will from people. The problem for me in Scotland is that, it's still, unless they change the voting structure when it comes to agreeing these deals and stuff. Unfortunately for us, and I'm just going to use East Fife as an example. East Fife's vote when it comes to TV deals carries as much weight as Celtic's. So when it comes to that's part of the problem. And I'm not knocking the smaller clubs in any way, shape, or form, but I'm simply saying that the bigger clubs in the countries need to be taken care of and need to be taken into consideration a lot more than the smaller clubs when it comes to these TV deals. You know, that some of these wee small clubs, as I say, that's the unfortunate thing, that their voice just carries as much weight as Celtic's or Aberdeen's or any of the other bigger clubs, and that's not right. That can't be right. And the one, as Andy said, and Gerry's touched on it as well, it's a pet hate of mine as well. You know, you're struggling to get tickets for an away game, and you're dealing with you're sometimes dealing down to hundreds of tickets. It's not even thousands; it's hundreds of tickets. And then you get to the match and you're looking at the stand opposite you, and it's half full. That's just crazy. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I honestly think they need to look at doing something. Listen, I know it's their own stadium and they can do what they like, but you know what? I'd like to see the league taking a stronger hand with that and saying, listen, if we're going to try to sell the product. We have a product here that we can sell, and as you said last week, Scotty, just looking at the league table at the minute, over the last couple of weeks, if you look, there's only a handful of points between second and third place and the bottom of the table. I mean, there's really not an awful lot. So without the top two teams, if Celtic and Rangers didn't exist in that league, there would be, they would have all that battle going on between a number of teams there. So. It's all about your product. You've got a product there that you want to try to sell and you want to try to market, and it should be the best you can possibly do. But you see empty seats at Tynecastle, empty seats at Kilmarnock, empty seats at St Johnstone. It's just ridiculous. And as Andy said, especially after COVID, when some of these clubs were pretty near to going out of business. You would think that in the years leading after COVID, they would be trying to maximize as much money as they can from these fixtures. And listen, I know it's a how would you put it? I don't know how to describe it, but it's just it doesn't make sense to me from a marketing point of view, from a company point of view, from a trying to run a business point of view. If you're in the entertainment business, and you're putting on your product and you're leaving half the seats empty, but there's plenty of people outside that will take those seats, but you won't sell them to them. That just doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense to me at all. So. Listen, they need to look at it. I think they need to look at the whole broad picture before the next TV deal and see if we can renegotiate a better deal. But you know what? As I said before, with with this streaming now being a thing now, I think you might find that there may be changes coming down the line, and clubs may be able to negotiate their own TV deals, which would be brilliant for us.
Yeah, you see it in Italy and things like that, you know, where they take the lion's share of TV deals, you know. I mean, who are folk wanting to watch on Scottish football? They want to watch Ross County or they want to watch Celtic, you know. It's pretty obvious who people are tuning in to see. So, it's maybe something down the line that could be happening as well. So, we've spoke about the VAR, ladies and gentlemen, and we've spoke about the UEFA finance report there. The last thing I've got for you on what's happening is there has been a bit of Bannergate again coming out of Celtic. Now, we don't like to get political on this podcast, as you know, but it is something that the club have come out with, so we are going to speak about it briefly. So Celtic have come out with a statement regarding banners at the stadium yet again. So they insist the displays should support the team or otherwise celebrate Celtic and be consistent with the terms of the Celtic Social Charter, the Social Mission Statement, and admit some recent banners have not been submitted for pre-approval. The Hoops are now reviewing their processes for future displays. A statement posted on the club's website this evening said, Celtic Football Club shares the concerns communicated by our own supporters regarding the use of banners at recent matches. Celtic is an inclusive football club open to all, with no political agenda, as is clear from the club's social charter and social mission statement. And no group of supporters or any organisation speaks on behalf of Celtic. Everyone associated with Celtic recognises the important part that Celtic supporters play in inspiring the team and contributing to Celtic spirit. Fan displays should support the team or otherwise celebrate Celtic and be consistent with the terms of the Celtic Social Charter, Social Mission Statement, and other terms that apply to all supporters' enjoyment of Celtic. That is why the club developed a protocol regarding the use of banners and organised displays at Celtic Park or any other stadia where Celtic plays, requiring the pre-approval of fan displays. Although there have been many occasions on which the club's protocol has been followed with great success and support for the team and for Celtic, unfortunately, there have been instances in the past weeks where the protocol has not been followed, with unauthorised banners which had not been submitted for pre-approval in line with the protocol displayed at Celtic Park. The club is reviewing these events and relevant processes. And finally, we've enjoyed a good season so far, and we want to achieve, together with our supporters, as much as we possibly can as we approach the latter part of the season. We want to thank our fans for their continuing support and collective understanding that club protocols and safety and competition regulations must be adhered to in order to protect the club and our fans, so that all Celtic supporters feel able to attend Celtic Park and all matches involving Celtic. So Andy, you know, I think we know what the banners are. We don't need to really talk about the banners specifically, but, you know, it's getting the club fines again. It's bringing negative attention to the club. I didn't know that banners had to be, you know, pre-approved by the club, basically, is what they're saying. And specifically, there's been two that I can think of recently that haven't been pre-approved. They're getting the club in hot bother. Have you got a view on it yourself, mate? You know, what do you think about it? And the club having to make statements about it now to stop the fans from doing it again?
I support the fans that are doing it, and I'll tell you why. And it's that they're using Celtic as a platform to keep the message, not just put the message out there, but keep it up. The Celtic fans have been up front with us for a long time, and we all know what it's down to. It's down to Palestine, Israel conflict.
Yeah.
And this isn't just since the October attacks. It's been going on for years and years. Celtic fans, in particular the GB and the boys, have always supported us, and I think majority of fans have as well. I think with people saying that politics don't belong in football, well, you know, politics have always been there in football. Look what we are going through. Look at the reasons why we started as a football club. You know, if that's no political, then what is? I can see the club. The club are trying to protect themselves, right? But if you take the club, even talking about the pyro and the banners, it suits the club to pick certain images of these fans that they fail to mention, who we all know who they are. They're quite happy to take screenshots of this and sell big pictures in shops and all that. This image of Celtic when you've got the full stadium tifo. Who done that? Who set that full stadium tifo up? That they sell pictures of the whole kind of panoramic view. You know, so they're picking and choosing what's good for them and what isn't good for them. This organisation, or the two of them actually, the boys and the GB, do fantastic work. Charity work, all right, you can look at certain things that they might go overboard with, but I've got absolutely no problem with any kind of banners that they have showed in the last couple of weeks. That's a problem. People, they expect people to turn the other cheek and you can't say that. Well, I'm one of the ones that won't shut up. So I'm firmly behind them all the way.
No, mate, you're bang on. You know, everybody's got their opinion on everything. You know, the club, as you said, are just protecting themselves and probably have to come out with these sort of things. But are the fans to sit in their hands and not say anything as well? You know, it's 6 and 2 3s, as you know. And Gerry, you know, Andy's bang on with what he said there. You know, it's, you know, the Ukrainian flags are all right, but the Palestine ones aren't they, and things like that. You know, we could go on and on and on and probably have our own podcast on this whole subject. But what do you make of the club coming out and actually making a statement about this now?
I think Andy says there about the board, they pick and choose what suits. There's no their agenda in it, I'll not be happy with it. But do you know what? I'm one of the guys who just goes to the games, Scott. Goes to the games, supports Celtic, sing away. Maybe shit at singing, but I try. Get drunk and go home. So if folk want to go and do the stadium, fucking I'm fine with it. Folk don't want to do it, I'm fine with it. It's I can see there's been politics in football for years, so I don't see it as a drama either. So I'm just right on the sitting the fence with it. It doesn't bother. I mean, go for it. I can understand it. As you say, Palestine flag people against it. Why? Well, why so many folk against it as well? I don't get it. Why you're against it or no against it or wait. So listen, as I say, I'm just a guy who goes to the football, basically. If folk want to do it, fair play to them. As I say, use it because there's no many places you can use these kind of things, and it's a perfect platform to do it. So, but the board are king with that way, coming out now, trying to, you know what I mean? And as Andy says, no mention who or what. So the board are fucking, but you know what? I'm either other way, go for it. So, you know what I mean?
Aye, and Paddy, you know, you know all about the political side of things from across the water there. You know more than most. It's Celtic have come out with a statement of their hand has been forced probably because of the last couple of banners that have been put out by the fans. I didn't know that there had to be protocol followed with the club. You know that it had to be sort of pre-approved and things like that. I know that the Green Brigade, for example, use them. There's other fan groups at Celtic, obviously, but I know that they require permission to get into the stadium to do certain things, and the club, they look at them. But the two specific ones that they're talking about recently, what's your thoughts on it, mate? And before you go for it, I'm going to go and grab a bit of pen and paper because I know Gerry's got a quiz coming up and I haven't got it here. So I'm listening to you. Don't think I'm ignoring you, mate. But go for it as ever, my man. Go for it.
No, I just think sometimes, as the guys have said, the club sometimes make a rod for their own back with the way they handle these things. You know, as Andy said, you know, you just look at what's happening in Ukraine with Russia. and you look at what's happening with Palestine and Israel, I know they're two very different confrontations, but they're still confrontations. And our club was born out of famine and oppression, and our supporters have stood with the oppressed across all the world. We've stood with any nation and any people who are being oppressed in their country. We've stood like that for years. But the Ukrainian flags were actually supplied in thousands and we have Ukrainian flags, but then you can get UEFA sanctions for waving a Palestine flag. So this is my point. I don't understand why they need to get involved in stuff like that. The other one that comes to mind is how many times have we heard this phrase, "Oh, you don't mix politics and football." Well, Celtic are one of hundreds and hundreds of clubs up and down the country that stand for this minute silence for the Armistice Day and Poppy Day and all the rest of it. What's that got to do with football? What has any of that got to do with football? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But yet it's encouraged by all the leagues. And I am not having a go at anybody that stands for a minute silence at Armistice Day or wants to wear a poppy or whatever they want to do. But I'm just trying to draw the analogy here and show you the double standards here. You know what I mean? Our club actually actively take part in these things. You know what I mean? And that's just, that's political. So on the one hand, you're told we can't get involved in politics, but we're going to have a minute silence for a political event that has nothing to do with football. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So sometimes they make a rod for their own back. Listen, the guys with the banners, we all know who they are and what part of the stadium they occupy. I, for one, think they provide fantastic banners, fantastic colour, sound, support. They get the stadium going sometimes when maybe the atmosphere is a bit flat. A lot of the other stadium takes their lead from that corner, and for me, they've just been a wonderful addition to the support. Yes, there's been times where they've maybe been guilty of maybe wrongdoing or whatever. The pyro for me is one. Gerry and me have spoke about this before. Listen, that needs to be knocked on the head, not only from a UEFA point of view, from a health and safety point of view. That's not for football stadiums. But listen, there's a lot of the work that they do goes on unnoticed behind the scenes. They do a lot of good work with charities and other organisations, and and for helping the deprived and stuff like that. So I'm not about to have a go at these guys, but listen, I suppose it's just a learning process. I suppose the reason the banners appeared without being pre-approved was the guys probably knew if they put them in for pre-approval they wouldn't get it, so they thought, what's the point? So they need to look at the process between themselves, the negotiating process between the club and them, and see if they can come to some kind of a better arrangement, because that's not going to be workable. It's not going to sustain. So there needs to be sort of sensible and cool heads on both sides. But I honestly do feel that sometimes at the club do make a rod for their own back by the way they handle things, because one person they'll support and then somebody else with a similar they won't support. And for me, that doesn't make sense, and it doesn't fit with the ethos of the club. As I say, we were founded because of famine in Ireland and beyond. And as I say, we were born out of famine and we were born out of oppression. And as a result of that, then our supporters have very proudly stood against the oppressed wherever they be in the world ever since. And I would just like to see that continue.
No, mate, absolutely bang on, and thank you everybody for getting involved in all the topics we had there. And that was great for the guys on the panel, and thanks for all your comments as well. So that's us covered.
What's happening?
We've covered everything that needs to be covered there, I think, ladies and gentlemen. So now we're going to move on. We've got 3 segments for you this evening, and the first one up is our Andy. Our Andy's going to give you his, and it is...
Who's that player?
Oh, that player. So, hold on to get them. I'm away by where they are. I find them. I've got 4 players for you.
4?
So, yes. So, you've got wee sections of a player's face almost. You need to tell me who that player is. Okay.
Okay, comments off, lads. Comments off as well.
1, 2, 3. Oh, I've got 5. I've got 5.
Oh.
2 seconds. Right, here is player number 1.
Jeez,
man.
What year is that strip?
That's what I'm trying to watch it.
90s, isn't it? Late 90s, that one.
It's early 90s, I think, mate.
Is it early 90s, eh?
That help you out a wee bit.
Aye, I think it's him. I think it is.
He's all got an answer.
Aye.
Oh, hold on. I need to take it. Can you take that off, Scotty? I've moved. Oh, no, hold on. I'll get it. Sorry, I'll get it. 2 seconds. Sorry, guys. Okay, let's start with you, Scotty. Who have you got?
I'm hoping it is Craig Burley.
Gerry.
This one's a cracker. When you remember him, Scott Marshall.
Scott Marshall.
Oof.
That's what he looks like.
We see Gordon Marshall's brother.
Aye, played the Rangers game. He's shite, centre off.
Aye.
That's what he looks like.
Paddy, who have you got?
I went for Brian O'Neill, Andy.
Brian O'Neill.
Jesus Christ.
You're going to kick yourself at this one.
I know.
We all got it wrong.
McAvenny.
Oh, no danger, man.
Look at it for the nose down.
I was like to see there's a bit of Charlie hanging at it.
Oh, we haven't. I want to be any left there. We haven't, mate.
Wow, man.
Aye. He's got that one, right?
Belter, mate. Belter.
Here is player number 2.
Oh, I know that one. Oh, that's straight away.
Jesus Christ.
No bother. Watch them battle Joe Muller against Dundee.
Right. Let's start with you, Gerry.
Mike McCarthy, mate.
Mick McCarthy.
Goalie B.
Paddy.
Yep, Mick McCarthy for me too, Andy.
McCarthy. Scotty.
Big Mick.
Big Mick. And the player was, let me find him. It was Mick McCarthy. Well done. Here is player number 3.
Oh, it's got to be, man. Straight away again, eh?
Oh.
Got to be, man. Easy, man. No, that one.
Okay, Paddy, who have you got?
I went for Simon Donnelly, Andy.
Simon Donnelly. Okay.
Friend of the show.
Yep.
Simon Donnelly. Gerry.
Simon Donnelly.
We said.
He said.
And the player was Simon Donnelly. We had to get that one right.
Yeah.
Here is player number 4.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Got that one, I think.
You happy with that?
Yep.
Aye.
Scotty, who have you got?
I think we spoke about him on the last pod. Tommy Johnson.
Paddy.
Tommy Johnson for me too, Andy.
So that's how I put doing Chris Cobbins.
Gerry.
Tommy Johnson.
Tommy Johnson. And every one of these are correct.
Oh, yes.
It's Tommy Johnson. Well done. Okay, here's the fifth and final player.
Oh, what that's. Oh, I know that is. Kill the strip. Go your name on the back here.
Jesus Christ almighty, man. Got to be, surely.
Okay, Gerry, who have you got?
The main man, mate, love me bits. Mr. Roy Keane. I love his crabbiness, his moaning, I like that. I like all that.
You sure?
I think so, aye.
It's tied.
Aye.
You're not tied. Right now, everyone.
I've got the name on that, Mr. Roy Keane.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Paddy, who have you got?
Roy Keane for me too, Andy.
Oh, Roy Keane as well. Scotty, who have you got?
Keto.
Oh, the threes have went for Roy Keane. Oh dear. Where is it now? Aye, Roy Keane.
I knew it straight away. That's why I got it right away, that one.
Aye, I'm disappointed. I thought they'd be hard. The first one was hard, but the rest were kind of easy. Aye, so that's you all get 4. You all get 4 out of 5. So I was actually maybe hoping to have the 5th as a tiebreaker, but it's a draw. So well done, everybody.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andy. Good, brilliant.
That was brilliant, mate. Ladies and gentlemen, that was...
Who's that player?
Brilliant, mate.
Well
and
done.
Craig Young won anyway because he got the last one right. It was Troy the Gardener. Well done, Craig. Can put the comments back on. So, like I said, we've got 2 other segments for you. We'll leave Gerry's one to the last because Gerry's one is very, very popular. I've brought a new one in for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So, if you've watched myself and Andy on other podcasts, you know that I've done a what was it called? Last Man Standing. Right, Last Man Standing. It was very, very popular on a previous podcast that myself and Andy were on. I've done it, and basically what it is we start off with goalkeepers, and I give you 2 goalkeepers, and you have to pick which one, from 10 to 1, basically. So I give you 10 different goalkeepers, and what happens is the panel end up picking their goalkeeper, and if it's 2 to 1, then we stick with that goalkeeper, and we're going to bring it back in for the pre-season. When it's kind of quiet, we're going to go for that. So we'll pick our own 4-Leaf Clover podcast 11 from these players. So we'll start off with the goalkeeper, then we'll go to left back, right back, the 2 centre halves. Because we're of an older generation, shall we say, it should be quite an interesting team that we end up with. And we also, what happens is, for example, if one of the guys can't make it and it's a tie, then we go to what the viewers come up with, So the viewers, we like to get you involved. And Stephen's seen it already. He knows the score. It was a fantastic segment and we will bring it back for you. But this one that I've brought in for you this evening, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty similar. So it sort of whets the appetite for it. And it is...
choose your boys carefully.
So it's very good advice as well. You should always choose your boys carefully. And what this one is, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm going to start off with the goalkeepers. So I'm going to give you 5 goalkeepers, gentlemen. And what you have to do is you have to put them in order from 1 to 5. You don't know who the goalkeepers are, but you need to pick what order they go in as soon as I give you that goalkeeper. So, for example, if I gave you Ian Andrews, he would obviously be number 5.
Number 10.
on that
Minus
list.
one.
I'm sure
Minus one.
with most of these. So I'm going to go through the goalkeepers individually, and you have to tell me where they are on your list. Okie dokie, very simple. And I want the viewers to get involved as well. So the first goalkeeper that I've got for you this evening, ladies and gentlemen, is Joe Hart. Andy, where are you putting Joe Hart on your top 5?
I'm going to go with 4.
Number 4?
Yes.
Okay. Gerry, where are you putting Joe Hart?
I'm putting Joe Hart number 3.
Number 3, you're agreeing with our Kaiser and our Gerry. Paddy, Joe Hart, where are you putting him, mate?
I'm going to put Joe Hart as number 2.
Joe Hart is number 2 on your list.
Joe Hart is number 2.
Okay. Loads of comments coming in. Keep them coming in. The second goalkeeper on the Choose Your Boys Carefully is Andy.
Oh, Packy Bonner.
Packy Bonner. I know he's a hero of yours, mate. Where are you putting our Packy?
I can't put him below Hart. He's got to go above Hart, so I'll say 3.
Number 3. Okay. Gerry?
I'm putting him number 5.
Number 5 on the list.
Why? Pat Bonner's gone to number 5.
Okay. And your fellow countryman there, Paddy, is surely going to be your number 1.
No, Big Packy's gone down to number 4 with me, Scotty.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Absolutely terrible. Should be ashamed of yourself.
I'll never forgive me and Donegal.
So the winning Paddy.
Don't you be going to Donegal for a pint. Terrible. Right, Andy, next up for you, my good man, is Kasper Schmeichel.
Aye. It's a hard one. There's going to be obviously other keepers with more longevity at Celtic, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
I'm going to put him at number 2, mate.
Oh, loads on the comments agreeing with you there, mate. Gerry?
Yes, mate, number 2. I'm went number 2 for Schmeichel.
Number 2 for Schmeichel. Keep the comments coming in. Next up is Andy Fraser Forster. Where are you putting Big Fraser on that list?
5. There's 5, aren't there?
I'm the same as Michelle. I'm the same as you, Michelle.
I don't want to do this, but he's going to have to go 5. I think there's better. Oh, no, what am I going to do here? Because Big Fraser, he was a wall, wasn't he? But I've got a funny feeling the man's going to pop up, and I need to put Fraser number 5, mate, unfortunately, but I need to, because I've got a funny feeling the mad one's coming on.
But Scott could do Higgy Muggleton or anything here, we just don't know.
Please don't.
Oh no.
Oh no, I never even thought of
it. See, Andy, you could have fucked up here, pal. Gerry, where are you going, mate?
I've went number 4 for Fraser Forster. Number 4.
Number 4. And Paddy?
I've given Fraser Forster number 3.
Number 3. Chris Fraser agrees with you. So finally, the last goalkeeper that I've got for you is the holy, of course.
Oh, yes.
Andy,
I'm
where are you? goalie.
Number one, mate. Number one.
Gerry?
Yeah, it's number one, mate. Big fat one.
And Paddy?
I have to put Big Arthur up there as my number one as well.
Good man. Good man. So the crazy one, the holy goalie, is everybody's number one. But Andy, just give me your top five that you've got it there, mate.
I've got Boric number one. I've got Casper number two. I've got Packy number three. I've got Hart number four. And I've got Foster number five.
Bit harsh on Big Fraser there, I think. Bit harsh on our Fraser, but it's the way the cookie crumbles.
The way the dice rolls in it, mate. It's just that's why I don't bet.
And our betting man in the bottom left-hand corner there, Gerry. What's your top five you've got there?
I went one half of Boric, Schmeichel, Hart, Forrester, and Pat Boner. But obviously, I would have put Hart. Maybe change him with Forrester. Maybe.
Oh no! How you can't be changing
I
things.
I know I can't. I was just thinking out too loud. I know I can't.
Paddy, what's your top five, mate? What order did you end up in?
My top five were number one, Arthur Boric, number two, Joe Hart, number three, Fraser Foster, number four, Pat Bonner, and number five, Casper Schmeichel.
Aye, that's kind of worked out all right, that one, to be fair. I'd put Schmeichel above Hart, if I'm being honest, if you had to do it, but it's obviously the way the cookie crumbles. But that's basically how the last man standing sort of works. And I'm sure some of you have seen it before, and we will be bringing it in. And we want your help as well, like I said, in the pre-season. We will bring it back. It's very, very popular. And it lasts, over 11 podcasts, because we've obviously got the 11 players. But thank you so much. That was...
Choose your boys carefully.
Well done, mate. Good to see you back.
Yeah, well done,
decent wee new segment there. But now I'm going to hand over the reins to our colleague on the bottom left-hand corner there, and it's time for...
It's Gerry's Big Fat Quiz.
Go for it, my good man.
I've been the right one, Andy.
You're no fat, the quiz is.
Right, boys, got pens ready and a paper, have they?
Yep.
What is it, 10 questions?
10 questions, that's better.
Okay.
Here we go. Number one.
Comments off, lads.
What's that?
Comments off, lads, as well.
Ready?
Yep.
When Scott McDonald left Australia to move to the UK, who was his first club? Was it A, Wimbledon, B, Motherwell, or C, Southampton? When Scott McDonald left Australia to move to the UK, who was his first club? A, Wimbledon, B, Motherwell, or C, Southampton? And we'll go with Scotty.
I believe it was Southampton.
Andy?
It was Southampton.
Paddy?
I went for Wimbledon.
The answer is, lads, Southampton. Well done. Well done, lads. Number two. Who scored the goal against Real Madrid in Alfredo Di Stefano's testimonial when Celtic won 1-0?
Yeah.
Was it A, Jinky, B, Lennox, or C, Wallace? Easy one, to be fair. And mate, you've gone with Andy?
Bobby Lennox, mate.
Paddy?
Yeah, Bobby Lennox for me too, or Gerry.
Paddy. Scotty?
Salcott's number one.
And for a bonus point, boys, who got sent off for Celtic? I write it down, then tell me. So he's got a chance of point each. So who gets sent off for Celtic?
In that game?
Yes.
Oh.
How many Real Madrid player gets sent off? So did that.
Wow.
Right. One, that's the same, Celtic player gets sent off. And I can tell what I say what they done because I'll get away. Do you go down, Scotty?
I've just went for wee Betty.
Betty. Andy.
I actually went for Murdoch.
I thought
Andy.
Murdoch. I thought Murdoch as well.
I went for Tommy Gemmell.
Answer, lads, was Bertie Auld. Bertie Auld and the Real Madrid player were flinging punches at each other. So they were just
a friendly.
A friendly. So they were. Number 3, lads. Celtic captain Cal McGregor announced his retirement from international football. But how many caps did he get? Was it A, 63, B, 64, or C, 65?
Fuck's sake, man.
Celtic captain Cal McGregor announced his retirement from international football. How many caps did he get? A, 63, B, 64, or C, 65?
Fucking hell.
And we'll go with you, Paddy, on this one.
I went for B, 64, Gerry.
64. Andy.
The same, 64, mate.
Scotty.
Complete guess, 64.
Sorry, lads. The answer was 63. So it was. Okay. Well done. Number 4, lads. How many clubs did Aidan McGeady play for, including loans? Was it A7, B8, or C9?
Fuck's sake, man.
What? To get your wee heads working. You know what I mean? A Friday night.
Oh, hold on a minute. Let's
write them down, know what I mean? A7.
You just drowned there.
No, arms.
Don't know, mate. Something happened.
A7, B8, or C9. I'm sitting here with my swimming shorts, don't you, Andy? My goggles.
Well, we are on the coast, aren't you?
Pair of flippers on. So we'll go with you, Scotty.
What's the options again, numbers-wise?
Ace. So how many clubs did Aidan McGeady play for, including loans, Andy? A7, B8, or C9?
Fucking hell, man. I can't even get to the lowest one.
Guys, carry on without me for a while, will you?
Yeah, sure.
Just give us a wee minute, mate, to rack my brain again.
Don't bother me. Just remember it's a bell soon.
I'm fucking working soon, hurry up.
I was well not answering because I can't reach even the lowest number, mate. So
take a guess.
6. I'll go with 7.
Guys, you're saying 7, Andy?
Yes.
0. Where are you going for, Scott? 7?
Same, I'm with Andy. I couldn't even get to 7, so I'm thinking it's 7.
Lads, the answer was 9 clubs.
Really?
So it was Celtic, Spartak Moscow, Everton, Sheffield United Wednesday, and Preston on loan. Then he was at Sunderland, then Charlton on loan, then Hibs in Air.
So aye.
Wow.
9 clubs, I know. Very surprised reading that. So I don't know if Paddy's will leave that and now Paddy, okay? And I'll just start number 5, but I'll go back to Paddy G's time, all right? Who was Gordon Strachan's first signing for Celtic? A. Adam Virgo, B. Mo Kamara, or C. Paul Telfer? But Paddy's ready to Google him, that's just sheer cheating.
I think he's away from the emergency toilet.
He's not even embarrassed about cheating now, you know. So you check that big pot of soup he was making. So, you want to go with you, Andy, first? Who was Gordon Strachan's first signing, mate?
I've went for Telfer because I know he played with him at
Telfer
at Coventry, didn't he?
Scotty boy.
Same. I think he's actually son-in-law's, you know.
I know. Lucky boys.
It's what Telfer's Strachan's son-in-law.
No,
Aye.
So you're going to hang yourselves, lads. The first signing was Mo Kamara just before.
Jesus Christ Almighty!
He was
How embarrassing
on a free transfer from Burnley. They reckon Martin O'Neill would ready hang with him for coming in.
Jesus.
So they did. Martin O'Neill liked it as well. We just going to hang with Paddy then or whatever.
Aye, just continue, mate. He said continue on. Go for it.
Right, okay, mate. Number 6, lads. Who was the Celtic manager who signed Rudy Vata? The first Albanian ever to play in the UK. A. Lou Macari, B. Tommy Burns, or C. Liam Brady?
Wow, great question.
Yeah. I know.
Oh, hold on a minute. Aye, right. No. I remember him talking about this.
So who was the first Celtic manager to sign Rudy Vata? Lou Macari, A. B. Tommy Burns, or C. Liam Brady?
I'm going to go with him. It was Brady then, Macari, wasn't it?
I'm not telling you nothing, Andy.
No, and that was
So who have we got down, Scott?
I went for Liam Brady, mate.
Andy?
Also, Liam Brady.
The answer is, lads, Liam Brady. Well done, Liam Brady. Number 7. How many league titles have Celtic won since 2000? So how many league titles has Celtic won since 2000? A. 18, B. 19, or C. 20? You obviously can't count the one we're going to get in a couple of weeks.
Got to be in it, no?
But what's going to be? I don't know. What you think, Scotty?
I'm not telling you.
You ready? And what's your answer, Andy?
I've actually went for 20.
20. Scott?
I went for 19.
I was going to go with that, but...
Lads, the answer is 18. 18 titles. Yep.
Bastard.
18. Oh, Scott, you went for 19 there, didn't you? 7. So, no points again, lads. Number 8. Who did Celtic play in the 100th Scottish Cup final? A. Aberdeen, B. Dundee United, or C. Rangers? And what's your answer, Scott? Do you still with Andy? You still waiting, Andy?
No, I've picked one, but I know it's wrong.
Yep. When you go then, Scotty?
Dundee United, mate.
Andy?
I picked the Huns, but I know it's wrong.
Aye, the answer was Dundee United. Celtic beat Dundee United 2-1 with McBennor.
Yeah.
David Provins and McGarvey's. Remember McGarvey got in the end of Big Roy Aiken? I was 12-year-old. I was actually at that game, and do you know what they done at Hampden? They moved the turnstiles for the Bolton Scott up to the tap, and we all thought we were getting in, and we were getting crushed at the tap. So there you go. They actually moved the turnstiles, Andy.
Aye.
So that was that. Number 9, lads. What year did Celtic win the Empire Exhibition Trophy? A, 1936, B, 1937, or C, 1938? What year did Celtic win the Empire Exhibition Trophy? A, 1936, B, 37, or C, 38? You ready? Aye, whenever you're ready, lads.
Yep.
You ready, Andy?
Aye, should really know this, but I've just went for 37.
Scott?
38.
Yes, lads. The answer's 1938. Celtic beat Everton 1-0 at Ibrox, and Johnny Crum get the winner in extra time, so he did. So there you go.
Remember it.
I remember that game as well. I was at that game. Number 10, final quiz question. Which club did John Hartson make his senior debut for? A, Swansea, B, Luton, or C, Wimbledon? Which club did John Hartson make his senior debut for? A, Swansea, B, Luton, or C, Wimbledon? And Andy, what we got?
I know he started his career with Luton, didn't he? So I'm going with that.
And Scotty?
The same again, man. Luton Town.
Yes, lads. Luton was the answer. Scott, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus a bonus 7. And you get 1, 2, 3, 4, mate. Scotty won there 7-4, lads. Well done.
Well done, mate.
Paddy get 1. He's away checking his suit, man. Minestrone says he's doing.
Brilliant, mate.
Well done, boys.
Thank you so much, Gerry. That was class, mate. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was
Gerry's Big Fat Quiz.
Bang on, well done. And just
right, Paddy. Here, Paddy, because he's that bad now, you're fucking off.
you need to take yourself off the mute, Paddy.
Elbows on mute. When you have to go, guys. Sorry.
I was going to say, did you get the toilet paper out the freezer, mate?
Oh, that's bad.
You should know the code, Paddy. You say that Scott says I'm away for pen and paper. That means he's away for a shite.
I'll know that quick. Aye. So I think that's the first time on Celtic podcast history that's ever happened. So Got a wee sweat on there, Paddy. You got a wee sweat on. So we are moving on, ladies and gentlemen, to a wee fixture that we've got this weekend. Let's have a wee look at the Scottish Cup quarter-final fixtures. So Hearts are at home to Dundee this evening. Is that right?
It is, yeah.
5 p.m. At Tynecastle, Hearts are playing Dundee. Tomorrow, Aberdeen are playing Queen's Park. And Sunday, Celtic are at home to Hibs. And then Andy's favourite stadium and favourite team, the Tony Macaroni Arena, Livingston, are at home to St Johnstone after that. But we're only here to talk about one game, and that is Celtic versus Hibs. Let's take a look at the past 4 meetings between the sides as well. That noise. Jeez.
Yeah.
So the last 4 fixtures are there, ladies and gentlemen. We obviously lost that game. Last one, Hibs 2, Celtic 1, with that contentious VAR decision. Back in December, we beat them 3-0 at Celtic Park in the league. And then back in August, it was 3-1 again at Celtic Park. And on Sunday, the 11th of August, we beat them as well in the league. It was the 2-0 game. The 3-1 game after that on the 18th was in the Premier Sports Cup that we actually went on to win, thankfully. So that was the past 4 meetings. Scottish Cup clashes against Hibs. We've played 25. Celtic have won 15 of them. 7 draws, 3 losses. Scored 46 and 13 against. Games at Celtic Park against Hibs, 153, 102 Celtic have won, 33 draws and only lost 18. Goals for 359 and goals against 139. And I've got this little stat for you because when we get to our predictions, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. And our biggest victory against Hibs was on October the 11th, 1919 in the league. It finished Celtic 7, Hibs 3. And the way both teams are playing at the minute, Andy, it could end up something similar on Sunday. So give me your starting 11 and what's your thoughts on the game and what is your prediction for the score, Andy?
I think we're going to go our strongest possible lineup. I think there's no injuries, is there? As far as we're aware, I've not heard anything anyway. So I'm going to go Casper, AJ, CCV, Trusty, Schlupp, Hatate, Engels, McGregor, Jota, Maeda, and Kuhn. I'm kind of stuck in 2 minds when it comes to a scoreline here because I think it could be tight and it could be quite difficult. And on the other hand, I'm thinking that Celtic's going to give them an absolute scalping. And then it'd be interesting if that does happen, how Hibs come back for that. Because if you remember when we played Aberdeen in the Cup semi-final last season, wasn't it? It was. We absolutely scalped them 6-0. And they were playing really well at the time. And I always said it was interesting how teams like that would come back after a kind of defeat, after a long kind of unbeaten spell. It's going to have to come to an end at some point. I think, listen, we can sit here and say it's going to be a really difficult game for Celtic with Hibs coming on with their form and obviously having so many fans in the stadium. But we're a good team. We're at home. And we have got a devastating front line. You could maybe look at the back now and again's a wee bit skittery. Sorry, Paddy, for bringing that in. Sometimes it does make you perform like Paddy when you see some of the defensive performances. But I think the most important thing up front, scoring goals, I think we're far superior than Hibs. And I think, obviously, we're at home, we've got the majority of the crowd. We're a better team. Hibs might be doing well at the moment, but I really fancies. I don't want to go over the score, but I think I'll go 3-1 Celtic. Possibly more, but I don't want to stick my neck out too much. But I really fancies to beat Hibs.
Yeah. Gerry, what's your starting 11, mate? What's your thoughts on the game? What's your score prediction? Hibs did cause us a lot of problems the last time they were at Celtic Park. They should have got a few goals, actually. And we were very lucky to get away with the result we did the last time we played them. They're on fire. What are you thinking, mate?
I'm the same. Casper, Johnston, CCV, Trusty, Schlupp, Hatate, McGregor, Engels, Kuhn, Maeda and Jota. So it is for me.
Yeah.
Listen, Hibs have done. Hibs, the last time they get beat was at Celtic Park, Since then they've been on that 13 games undefeated. So we were the last team to beat them in December. But they're a good young manager. The club gave a bit of patience. He's only 36. He's a good young manager. Got them playing well, but Hibs seem to kind of underachieve all the time, don't they? Hibs.
Yeah.
I think that for the size of them, they should have been doing better, to be fair. But I'll tell you what, I'm going for 3-1. But I think it could be a cracking game. It's going to be a cracking game. So hopefully it lives up to it. And we get the result. So I 3-1 for me, Scotty.
Paddy, somebody was asking if you're heading over. You're not heading over, mate, are you?
No, we're not. We're going to give this one a miss, Scotty. It'll be foolish to travel after having the issues I've had over the last few days. So we're going to just take a quiet one. So for me, again, this is a potential to be a cracking cup tie. You know, Hibs can come and play with a wee bit more freedom because it's a knockout tie. But I still think the players, the Celtic players, and Brendan will be sore about the decision at Easter Road last week. You've seen it even again there. It's just brought it into focus again this evening when you see the injustice of it all. So I think the Celtic players will feel a bit hard done by over that one, and rightly so. And so they might be wanting to settle a score there. So again, I see us going with the best team we have at the minute. So for me, it'll be Kasper Schmeichel in goals. Back four of Alistair Johnson, Austin Trusty, Cameron Carter-Vickers and Jeffrey Sloop at left back. Midfield three will be McGregor, Hatate and Engels. And up front, you've got to go for the three guys at the minute. Kuhn with Maida through the middle and Jota on the other side. And I'm going for a 4-1 win. I can see Hibs scoring at Celtic Park, but I think we will be too strong for them. And I think we have a point to prove after what happened with a disallowed goal. So I'm quite confident and I'll go for 4-1 Celtic.
Yeah, I think the team picks itself, lads, as all everybody said, and even in the comments and stuff. I think it's going to be. I think there's going to be 6-7 goals in this game, man. Honestly, I think it's just going to be a barnstormer. I think Hibs are going to go for it. We're going to go for it, and I think it's going to end up something like 5-2 to us. You know, something crazy like that. It's going to be. That's why I put that scoreline up earlier. I think it is going to be goals. Both teams flying. We've got a wee bit of revenge to seek after the VAR debacle, obviously, as well. So I'm going to go for Celtic 5, Hibs 2. I think it's just going to be one of the games. So that's us, ladies and gentlemen. We are out for this evening. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Gerry. Thank you, Paddy. Thank you, everybody, for getting involved. It's been good crack tonight. Good segments. Great analysis from the lads, as ever. We'll be back with you, ladies and gentlemen, after the game on Sunday. Probably have a full house by the looks of things. You got the game, Gerry?
See how I'm on after Saturday night with the rave, Scott.
Well, me, Andy, and our Paddy will definitely be with you anyway for the post-match show on Sunday after the game. That's us. Thank you so much, everybody, for getting involved. If this is your first time watching, then give us a wee subscribe. Get involved in the comments on the YouTube page. Have a wee look at the community, the past podcasts that we've done. Some cracking content on there. Thank you so much. We will see you on Sunday. Hail, hail.
Hail, hail, guys.
Morning, Hoops.